Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. You ready to dive in? Today we're going to be talking about Luc Besson. Now, you might know him for some pretty big, explosive action films, but there's a lot more to him, so get ready to go a little bit deeper than Taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Besson's one of those filmmakers that always seems to be able to find a way to surprise you and to really understand, I think, his impact. We kind of have to rewind all the way back to his beginnings, his roots. So let's start with his debut, Le Dernier Combat.
Okay, Le Dernier Combat,
Hmm.
a post-apocalyptic world, almost no dialogue. What's going on there?
Well, just imagine a world just ravaged, stripped bare, and Besson throws you right into this desolate landscape. But what's really chilling isn't the silence, it's the storytelling. Besson uses visuals, kind of like a poet uses words. He conveys mood and tension, even character development, all without relying on any dialogue. It's pure cinema, a masterclass in visual storytelling. And it really set the stage for, well, his entire career.
So even from the beginning, he's pushing boundaries and really experimenting with just how do you tell a story? I'm intrigued already. What else really sets Besson apart from, other action directors?
I think his secret weapon is that he's a screenwriter first. So before he was directing all of these huge hits, he was penning scripts, he was honing his craft. And this really explains why even his most explosive films have so much depth.
You're right. It's not just about the action. It's about the characters that are driving all the action, their motivations, their struggles.
Exactly. Take Nikita, for example. This film wasn't just a hit, it actually redefined the action thriller genre. Besson created a complex female protagonist, Nikita, who's forced into this life that she never wanted. She's trained to be an assassin, but it's really her journey and her fight for agency that kind of elevate the film beyond just simple thrills.
Right. Nikita isn't just about, stylish action. It's about Nikita's transformation, her inner turmoil. You feel for her, even as she's kicking butt.
That's the Besson magic right there. It's that blend of the heart-pounding action with these really deep, character-driven narratives. I think that's where his background in writing really shines. He just understands that action without emotion is hollow.
And speaking of emotional depth, we got to talk about Leon, the professional. It's often considered to be his masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see why.
Yeah. With Leon, Besson gives us a hitman, a young girl, and this bond that forms between them that really transcends the violence that's surrounding them. It's brutal but deeply moving, a real testament to Besson's ability to find humanity in the darkest corners.
It's interesting you say that because the film really does have this incredible contrast. The harsh reality of a hitman's life against the innocence of Matilda, played brilliantly by a young Natalie Portman.
Exactly. Portman's performance is a revelation, and I think it's Besson's direction that allows her to shine in that role. He creates these intimate moments, these quiet exchanges between Leon and Matilda, and those moments really build their connection, making their bond feel genuine even in the midst of all this chaos.
Their bond is what makes the film so powerful. It's not a typical action movie relationship. It's complex, it's layered with mentorship, protection, and even a touch of love.
And that complexity, that willingness to explore these unconventional relationships, that's what makes Leon a true masterpiece. It's a film that stays with you.
Yeah.
It makes you think long after those credits roll.
Yeah, it's definitely a film that's left its mark on cinema. But Besson's influence goes way beyond Leon. I mean, he's a director who's not afraid to, jump between genres. And his foray into science fiction with The Fifth Element is, well, a prime example of that.
Yeah, The Fifth Element is just pure Besson. Visually stunning, wildly imaginative, action-packed. But again, it's not just about the spectacle. He weaves humor and heart and even social commentary into this crazy space opera. He creates a world that is both really entertaining and thought-provoking.
It's a film that just explodes off the screen. The Fifth Element. Colorful, quirky, and completely unforgettable. But it also makes you think about humanity, about destiny, and about this fight for good against evil. Besson isn't afraid to tackle the big themes, even within a popcorn flick.
Right. It's that blend of blockbuster appeal and deeper meaning that really defines Besson's work. He knows how to entertain, but he also wants to make you think, to leave you with something to chew on after the lights come up.
And Besson's innovation, it doesn't just stop at sci-fi. With Banlieue 13, he introduces parkour to the world, creates these action sequences that just defy gravity.
Yeah, Banlieue 13, total masterclass in kinetic energy. Besson drops us right into this dystopian Paris where movement becomes a weapon, the parkour, breathtaking. It's a fusion of athleticism and artistry.
You're right, it's not just about the stunts either. It's about the way Besson integrates them into the story. He uses parkour to reflect, like, the character's desperation, their struggle against a system that's failed them.
Exactly. The action in Banlieue 13 is visceral, but it's also infused with social commentary. Besson's not afraid to use genre filmmaking to address real-world issues, to shine a light on the margins of society.
Yeah, and that social awareness is something we see throughout his entire career, isn't it? Even in a film like Taken, which, on the surface, it's a pure revenge thriller. But there's this subtext of, like, global anxieties, a father's fear for his daughter in a world that feels increasingly dangerous.
Taken taps right into those primal fears, and it does so with the simplicity that really resonates globally. I think Besson understands the power of archetypes, of these kind of universal emotions. He gives us a hero that we can root for. Liam Neeson as this father with a very particular set of skills, driven by an unwavering determination to protect his child.
And that simplicity, that focus on a single-minded goal, it's what makes Taken so effective. It's a film that grabs you by the throat and just doesn't let go till the very end.
It's a testament to Besson's ability to craft these lean, mean narratives that really pack an emotional punch. He knows how to build tension, how to escalate the stakes, how to deliver a satisfying payoff.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, we can't forget Lucy, a film that takes Besson's fascination with human potential to a whole new level.
Yeah, with Lucy, Besson's exploring the idea of what happens when we unlock the full capacity of the human brain. It's a high concept premise, but he grounds it with this incredible performance from Scarlett Johansson. She embodies Lucy's transformation from a vulnerable victim to this near omnipotent being with just incredible nuance.
Yeah, the film is visually stunning. Besson uses special effects, not just for spectacle, but to really visualize Lucy's evolving consciousness, her perception of time and reality shifting as her brain power increases.
Right. Lucy is a prime example of Besson's willingness to experiment, to blend genres, to challenge the audience's expectations. It's a film that starts debates, it provokes thought, it stays with you long after the credits have rolled.
It's a film that showcases Besson's signature blend of action, intelligence, and, well, visual flair. And it leads us to the question, what is Luc Besson's legacy? How has he impacted and influenced the world of cinema?
Besson's influence, it's undeniable. He's a filmmaker who's never been afraid to take risks, to push the boundaries of storytelling, to create worlds that are both visually arresting and thematically resonant.
He's given us iconic characters and these unforgettable action sequences, films that have sparked countless conversations. He's influenced a generation of filmmakers, and his impact can be seen in everything from the sleek action of John Wick to the high-octane spectacle of, like, the Fast and Furious franchise.
Besson's legacy is one of innovation, pushing the limits of what cinema can achieve. He's a master of blending those art house sensibilities with this blockbuster appeal, creating films that entertain, that challenge, and inspire in equal measure.
He's shown us that action can be more than just explosions and car chases. It can be a vehicle for exploring these complex themes, for crafting characters that resonate deeply, for pushing the boundaries of visual storytelling.
And perhaps, most importantly, he's reminded us of the power of cinema to transport us to other worlds, to make us think, to make us feel, to leave us changed by the experience.
His films are a testament to the boundless possibilities of imagination, a reminder that cinema can be both a mirror reflecting our reality and a window into worlds beyond our wildest dreams. So we've gone from silent films to sci-fi epics to assassins to brain-bending action. It's clear that Luc Besson is more than just an action director.
Oh yeah, he's a real cinematic chameleon, able to just shift between all these genres, but he always maintains that distinct visual style and a real commitment to strong characters, especially women.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed in like all of his films. His heroines are far from damsels in distress.
Yeah.
You know, they're complex, they're capable, and they're often the driving force of the narrative.
Exactly. I mean, think about Nikita defying her fate, or Li Lu from The Fifth Element. I mean, she becomes a literal embodiment of powerful femininity. Even Lucy transcending human limitations. Besson's women are fighters, both physically and emotionally.
It's really refreshing to see such dynamic female characters, especially in genres that are so typically dominated by men. It speaks to Besson's willingness to challenge conventions, to subvert expectations.
And his impact goes way beyond individual characters. He's also pushed the boundaries of visual storytelling, from like the stark imagery of Le Dernier Combat to the kinetic energy of Banlieue 13. He understands the power of the image, using visuals to convey emotions, ideas, even entire worlds.
His films are a real feast for the eyes, but they engage the mind too. He's not afraid to tackle complex themes, to make us think about our place in the world, about human potential, about the choices that we make.
And that's ultimately what sets Luc Besson apart. He's a filmmaker who entertains, who challenges, and who inspires. He's a visionary who's left an undeniable mark on cinema, influencing a generation of filmmakers and leaving us with a body of work that continues to resonate with audiences all over the world.
So as we kind of resurface from this deep dive into Luc Besson's world, what's the takeaway for our listeners out there?
I'd say go beyond the familiar. Explore his lesser-known films, revisit the classics, appreciate the artistry behind the action.
Look for that depth in his characters, the symbolism in his visuals, that social commentary woven into his narratives, and most importantly, enjoy the ride. Luc Besson's films are a cinematic roller coaster, a thrilling blend of spectacle, intelligence, and heart.